I know about you guys, but my team is in ruins. We have our round 26 team list. We'll react to this. I just can tell it's going to be bad. Lem looks like he's back, which not good for me, but good for those that have obviously held on to him for the week. And Hopgood, imagining this is him going back to the 13 role. And then the other page there had Pap, so let's hope he's returning. I imagine it'll be extended bench, or considering he didn't play last week, and it sounded like he copped a little bit of a knock, so they didn't risk him. Anyway, Panthers, what do we got here? Hosking still on the edge, so Sorensen out again. Not even on the reserve, so there's no further news on Sorensen, and there's no news on Tango as well. So has he broken his leg? Like, what's the go with Tango now? Is this the 5th week? I believe we got him for would have got him for round 20, and then I think from 21 onwards he hasn't made the squad. So that's 5 weeks in a row now. Man, that's frustrating. If you are holding on to him, I think it's just time to let go. I don't think he's going to play before finals unless he just comes back next week. But even then, like, they haven't said anything about this injury, so it's very, very wishy-washy with what they're going here. They've said nothing about Sorensen as well. We would have thought last week that he was being rested because a couple other guys, obviously Mitch Kenny, got the rest as well. So yeah, very, very strange on that. Brian Toto is back, not very relevant, obviously, in fantasy at the moment, but I suppose now the worry comes for next week, and does Dylan Edwards get rested? Does Isaiah Yeo? Does Cleary get rested? There's a few question marks there. Obviously, Toto just had his rest, so you'd imagine he'll be there for next week. But Luai missed a week there as well. So basically, it'd really be like Fisher Harris and Liam Martin that could get a spell as well. So this week they're there, but going on from that, definitely worry. If you got Sorensen, I feel like you probably hold, because likely he's back next week and you've got more issues with the sides, but it's a frustrating one for sure. On the Eels side of things, what do we got? I need Brendan Hands to be playing. Oh, you're kidding me. 19th. Come on, man. I just need a 25 out of him this week. Just let me have that. Yeah, these have turned out really poor, eh? Like, he was starting to score great, and I think one more week of him scoring good, and a lot of people just would have grabbed him because he was about a 50 scorer for a few weeks there, and then they get Joey Lustig over, and I don't think he's playing any better or much better, but Hands solid last week, 25 tackles for no misses, doing a job, and they're just trying to throw anything at the wall to see if it sticks at the moment in this one. Ryan Madison back to the edge, so great news for owners of him, and obviously we do get one more week out of Eels players, so if you have multiple trades, then trying to keep one or so for that last round could be really cool. Penasini's there for me, but obviously against a really strong Panther side, I'm not too excited as to what he's going to be able to get. And that's where, like, having Hands there for a 25, 30, 30 or 35 minutes or something like that would have been great, because the amount of tackles he'd end up with against this side here. Dylan Brown, obviously a great one-week play for those in the head-to-head, but it is up against the Panthers as well. But you know that he'll be trying everything and he'll get plenty of defense like he did last week with the 30-plus tackles in that one there. So yeah, it's probably it from that first game. A little bit frustrating, that's for sure, in that one. Let's go Warriors-Dragons. So for the Warriors side, outside backs stay very similar. Metcalf's still there. And in the forwards, we see Jackson Ford go back to the bench. So I'm not sure if that's just to give him a bit of a rest, or a bit of a kick up the backside there after missing a few tackles last week. And he's been great on the offensive side. Defensively, fine, but the sort of last few months, that's to why we end up dropping him from our sides. He was just missing so many tackles, and I thought he cleaned that up a bit. So I'm not sure if this will be more of a resting thing, or or it's just to give him a little bit of a spell, given he's either played the full game for the most part, or had a head injury, and they're pretty well set in that top four as well. So it's probably the main change for them there, with Josh Curran coming into the start. I doubt he played the huge minutes there in that one. For the Dragons, see Lomax come back, so for those that held him, happy days there. Hopefully he's not a late out again. Billy Burns and Dan Russell still hold their spot, which is good news on the Dragons front. So I think that'll be an interesting game. I think Dragons seem to be in games at the moment, but I'll be at this one. I'm keen to watch that one. Obviously, I do like watching Lomax play, so that will be fun live. But I don't want him to score too well, to be honest with you, in that one. But good to see SJ is going to be there, and it'd be nice to see Chance and Hannah Blake, obviously, and Tohu out there doing their thing. So, very cool. Dolphins up against the Cows. So, Hemiso's back. We don't see any Valance. Robert Jennings, Bostock, Tessie New. We still can't get Valance in there. Come on, man. The week that we need him. Anyway, frustrating. Connolly's back. As we said, Harrison Graham's there. Again, likely that there's someone comes onto this bench here as for an opportunity to get some minutes out of him. I don't think we'll get 80 out of Harrison again. I feel like one of these guys will come on, whether it's Milford or something like that might come on, or they're just going to play Graham for the big minutes. I'm not sure how they would work that around. They've got Aitken on the bench, so he could move into the centres or the back row. But who would they switch into the 9 jersey? So, like with his bench right now, it does look better for Graham owners. It doesn't help me, but that's that. Scotty Drinkwater's there for the Cows. Lucy Helam Lukey comes into the start. And Nanae as a shoulder injury, I believe they were saying. Yeah, shoulder injury. Zach Labart's in the centre as well. No Valame out with a knee injury. Hope that's short term, but we do need to win this one. Very clearly the Cows, that's for sure. Storm and Titans. So for the Storm side, looks very much the same. Still Seva and Tonamapia. Eli Katoa, a great one week option as a cheaper guy for your side's team. Bronson Garlick is there and playing, and Pap is in the 19. So yeah, might come back. Suppose there's a chance. Is it likely at this point? I feel like there's a very high chance he just comes off the bench and plays the 15-20. Not sure if they'll play him in Q Cup as well. But yeah, that'll be exciting. Love Pap, obviously. For those that followed for a few years, there's a bit of a love affair there. But yeah, happy to see him come back and obviously play and hopefully gets a crack here before finals. Really, you want to get him a couple of goes off the bench, get some minutes in the legs in first grade, and hopefully he can provide some punch off the bench. Tom Weaver keeps his spot. Not expecting the world out of him in this week. If you have Munster and if you're looking to do a last trade or something like that, then I still think he's a solid pickup. He's a lot cheaper after the last week's efforts, the last 2 weeks. Anyway, 46? No, 46 was a few weeks back when I got DCE. But yeah, outside back. So Jaden Campbell-Gornski's for the year now. Could be a few months. Patella dislocation. Not great. Doesn't sound great, that's for sure. AJ Brimson in that one as well. For feeder, Cleese Haas, if you need someone cheap, Cleese is going to do a good job. Sorry, this is late, guys. I just picked up a new job at a school doing their cricket program. So I just did an afternoon thing, and I'll be the same for next week. Thankfully, it's worked out. That's only in the last couple of weeks of fantasy. But yeah, you get my video that little bit later. But forwards there, all sits the same. For the Titans in that one. Roosters, Tigers. All right, we're into the middle. Manu is at fullback, obviously with Teddy out. That's one of my sad ones. We knew that one was coming, though. Suoli'i, still a solid one to play, obviously against the Tigers. Siwa Wong. He gets to start there, and he's one of those cheaper guys. So you got Wong, and you've got... Who was the other fellow I said? Cleese Haas. They're the two options in the cheap range, I think. We'll obviously go through them tomorrow as well. But they're two to look at in that one. Sam Walker's back. I cannot believe that Drew Hutchison's been dropped. It's just ridiculous. Like, not even in the squad at all after what he's helped them do over the last few weeks. But yeah, I suppose maybe they think that they can't win. Yeah, if they do happen to win the next couple of games and make the finals, that they can't win it with Hutcho, but they could do better with Walker. Just crazy. He finally brings his team together and they get some wins and then just gets punted. We feel for you, Drew. We feel for you. Corey Allen comes back in the centres. Like, just play Hutcho in the centres at least if you're going to do that. Anyway, silly. Tigers, we got Tristan Riley keeps his spot in this one. Will Smith is in the 7. We see Appy go back to 9. We'll still kick goals, which is good, obviously. And, go from there. Papali'i Bateman in there, which is good. Brandon Smith starting. Twali on the bench. Fair enough. Simpkin out with Coruscant back, so that hurts Simpkin owners. He is not even in the reserves. Wow. There you go. Did he get injured? HA. That's right. Cool. Okay, Raiders. Yay, Horsburgh's there. Thank goodness. Sounds like he'll be fine from everything we've heard so far. So that's good news that he's been named in the start, not just in the reserve. So that's good. We needed that. Need a bit of love there. I'll show you my team after this. I've got that up there ready to go. Raps, yeah, definitely going to be an up and down guy. They've got the Broncos though, so I wouldn't expect too much out of those guys. Timoko will be solid. Tarpany, Horsburgh, they're going to get plenty of work in this game and should have to play big minutes. They do need to win as well to make sure that they are firmly entrenched in the 8. And if they win, obviously there's a good chance that they can get a home final. 5th or 6th would be, so it's very important for them to get a win here. Something to think about, guys, as well, is just looking at if you are trading in a player, is just to make sure that they very likely to play the last 2 games. So, yeah, you don't want to get a guy for now, and then they're going to miss next game, and you've got a few out already. We're waiting for guys to come back from HIAs and stuff, and then they don't actually play. That would be very hurtful. Broncos seem good to go. Pikura on the bench. Other than that, they're all sweet apart from Adam Reynolds. So, yeah, Payne Haas's, Carrigan's all set to likely play the last 2 games, which is good. Bulldogs and Sea Eagles last couple of games. So, for the Dogs, not a lot changes there. You've got Harrison Edwards just named to start this time. Luke Thompson on the bench. Hopefully, Kingy starts and plays some good minutes in this one. We need a good score because we are going to be short. Unfortunately, Curtis Morin comes into the interchange for Ockenbaugh in this one. Jarrell Skelton, whoever people are looking at him a bunch of weeks ago, unfortunately doesn't make the side. This is the time so you want just little niggles, 1 week niggles to come in and be a part, so you can get your fringe guys like Valance and Skelton and obviously not this week with Munro, but Munro for next week, for example. All right, Garrick is out. We do see him on the reserves though. 22. What does that even say? So NRL Physio there got his Patreon. He said majority of these injuries are actually between a 3 to 5 week return. He had some examples of different guys as well. So yeah, I sent that through to the guys in the private group. But Schuss has been dropped. Garrick is hoping to be okay. So I suppose this is kind of annoying because if he was this outfit, it's annoying anyway, especially because he's a center and I have Penasini in my squad. But if he was going to be definitely out next week, then you just trade him. But because there's a chance that he can come back, I may look to hold him. But again, it's just going to depend on how bad this injury is. It seems to be very much a high pain injury rather than anything really, really sinister longer term. It's just that, for that bunch of weeks, you're in a fair bit of pain. So is it worth him coming back as well? I feel like that's the thing. If they were looking to make finals, then I think it'd be worth him playing next game. But there's a big part of me that just thinks he's not going to play both games. But why would he be on the reserves this week? That's my question. I don't know. How strong is this man? How strong is his pain tolerance? Gordon. Chen Kum Tong gets the interchange. How good? Good on him. Well deserved. Good to see him, I hope. Daly will kick goals, guys. Just remember that. But how many goals are they going to kick? Up against the Dogs without Garrick, it does hurt them. Hopefully Kohler can do a good job. He played some fullback at the end of last year as well, which was good. Night Sharks to finish things off. For the Knights there, we got same team. Yeah, easy as. Same team on that front. And I think the same with the Sharkies as well. So, yeah, Gagai, the best center options. Not even close. Not even funny. I wish I had enough. Garrick, I've got, an extra 70. He's like 640 or something. Ugh, yuck. Yuck. And what else we got? Yeah, that's all. McInnes, Nickera. Cool. Let's just have a quick look at the squad. All right, so I was kind of playing around with it before TLT in hope. Horsburgh named. Thank you. That's good. All right, Penasini in the centers. I was thinking that Garrick was in trouble once I saw the NRL Physio thing. Teddy, so I'm playing one short this week, even with a trade. So I have one trade remaining, 71k in the bank. If we know Garrick's going to be out, I just trade him out and I have 710 or so, which unfortunately is not enough for someone like Gagai, which hurts. I think I have enough for Munster. But my issue here is next week. So with Penasini going to be out, Garrick won't be playing, let's just say. Valance isn't going to be back. So all my cover there is Gonski. So I would be playing one short, even if I could fill the 17. So I feel like a center is important. Obviously, it's going to be the least chance of getting big points, unless it was Gagai, which I'm a little bit short of. The other thing there is just to go for the best scorer in Munster and just play short and just bank on couple of really good scores from Munster. But they'd still be playing short next week. So likely I'm going to need a centre this week, and then we hope for Tedesco to return. Would be really cool. If I get him back, I get Murray back next week. I would then have there's two options. I can hope and pray. I just hold Garrick and trade like Valance or Jesse Colquhoun. As I said, you could get for Colquhoun, I could get Wong. I get Cleese Haas in that 350, 340 kind of range. So that I get to play for the next 2 weeks, which would be cool. Because Egan Butcher's still not back, which is wild. And then Valance is the other one that I could get anywhere up to about 500k, which I haven't looked at yet. But I imagine there's going to be some guys that are solid in that range there. definitely know there's guys like Jordan Rapiner who, boom or bust could be helpful. So that could be an interesting one. Center. Will he be center? No, he's just be wing fullback. So, yeah, definitely have a look, but it's a frustrating scenario. I think I'm playing with 16 this week. The thing is, I really want to be getting 17 next week. So likely it's a center, and we don't really want another center, but it's probably going to have to be the way, and they're going to play both weeks. So what I'm trying to get at is it worth trying to go maximum for 1 week or go for a bit of luck and pick up the 30 minimum, like sort of somewhere in the 30 mark, 40 average over 2 weeks. It's obviously going to be the center one, but it's yuck. It just feels yuck. But yeah, that's where we're at in the squad there. 6 out coming into this one, which is frustrating. We'll have 5 after a trade. So playing with 16. 16 decent players. King's not amazing at the moment. Like, it's fine. Penasini, and then whoever I bring in. So, not going to be the worst. We're going to hold Murray. Obviously, we want a good player next week. We're trying to get 17 on the park in round 27 as well. That's where our guys. The Brendan Hands one is a bit of a killer. In that one, if he's playing, we have 17, but we won't. So that's it. I'm going to leave it at that, guys. Enjoy that. Hope it was fun. Hope it was good for your team. If not, you can cry with me.